difference, so you gotta know that. Hey, what's going on? For all my listeners tonight, man, I got the opportunity to sit down with one of the most incredible promoters in the business that I met today. Well, met for a while. I've known Chris for like forever. You know what I'm saying? We be out at the shows. We be out doing this thing, yo. For all my listeners out there, man, I got Chris Cano in the building today, baby. Chris, what's good, Cat?
Oh, man, just a pleasure to be here. Blessed, man. Blessed to be here. I'm still asking when I'm going to be on one of these magazine covers, but they keep shutting me down.
Nah, we're going to get to it, baby, one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So, man, let's crack it off like this here, man. I need you to let me know, you know what I'm saying, where you're originally from, and then how long you've actually been promoting, how long you've been in the entertainment business, man.
Well, I'm born and raised in Arizona, so that's why, all my shows come out here. Everyone asks me when I travel. I mean, Arizona's good to me, man. So I want to make sure I put it on for the city, make sure we get it blessed, and, just getting it right, and, making sure, my shows are epic, but I want to make sure it's actually perfect before we take the show on the road. But, man, I love Arizona. I was born and raised where I'm from.
Yeah.
Shows are successful because I know what we love here, man. I grew up, riding the streets and listening to all the artists we put on, and so it's always been well. I've been I think my first show was actually was a Young Dro show. We did Young Dro. We just did a practice run at the Monarch. We were first show we signed Blueface when he was Billboard #1 on Billboard. So that was a huge thing. Made a big mistake. You talked about mistakes earlier, man. It was between him and Little Baby. So.
You went with him instead of Baby.
Huge mistake there. Then we were doing our E40 show. That was, that was probably my biggest show still to this day, just because it was the first. It was the first big one. It was the most successful, and it was just the one I was the most nervous about too. So to see it successful was a huge thing. So it was really big. But 2018 is when it came off, and just been trying to kill it ever since.
Absolutely. So my first question is, everybody grows up to want to be something, to do something. What made you want to be a promoter? What made you think that you could be a promoter, not only be a promoter, but be successful at it? In, of all places, Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Like I said, man, this is the home base, man. I got to make sure I put it on for the city, and that's still a line from Young Jeezy. But, every time I put a promo on there, I put that song on there. But, I've always loved music when it comes to, classic rock, classical music. I joke I grew up playing the violin. I love music. I always have. Asked me the history of music, whether it be from classical rock to, even hip hop when it started. And, I just fell in love with hip hop and can't rap, can't make a beat. So, next best thing is be a producer.
But you just said something just now, and it didn't get past me because I'm a pro at what I do. What the hell was you doing playing a violin?
Oh,
mean, listen, man, this is kind of crazy, y'all. Wait a minute, though. Can y'all imagine Big Chris Cano with a violin like I want this? I mean, tell us the story, man, of how the violin thing came in.
In my defense, man, they started me when I was in the 4th grade. So it was by force, and I just kept. They wouldn't let me out of it, man. It just kept playing, man. That was the worst part. Speaking of that, I mean, I had a rough childhood. Anyone that knows me, in the 90s, gangbang was at its most, but I just carried my piece in my violin string. That's how bad it was. No one ever do the search there. So.
Hey, but listen, I know you walking around with your violin case, got you big respect because nobody really knew what was in that case, whether it was a violin or one of them choppers coming out of the back.
Usually the chopper. That's how I got it to school. I never walked around with the case. I kept that thing G14 classified. I put it in the classroom with a stick.
Hey, y'all, I had to put that in there, man, because look, that did not get by me on the violin thing. You know what I'm saying? So as you kind of started doing promotion and all that, man, was it a difficult business in the beginning to get into? Because a lot of people don't know, man. Everybody think because they see us do it, they see you do it, they thinking,
it's easy.
They think it's easy.
I think it's easy,
Because one thing, because you probably make it look easy. You know what I'm saying? But they don't understand all the intricacies that go into it behind the scenes and actually making it happen. So I need you to tell me, man, a little bit of that.
The problem I see in this business, man, that, you know, with promoters, they use it as a platform to get famous. And I tell people right off the bat, if you're using it to get famous, well known, nobody knows. We'll take Bobby D, biggest promoter out there, and, you know, I do business with them as well, and I even help promote some of the shows out here, but nobody even knows what the guy looks like.
Right.
And I tell people, if you're in this to be famous, you're in it for the wrong reason. If you're in it to make money off the bat, you're in this for the wrong reason. I mean, I've always been a businessman. That's where I come up with the money to come up with these funds. People, you know, always ask, well, you're successful because your shows are bigger than everyone else. Well, it's because it's a business mentality where you got to put in there. I tell people, you know, and people sit down with me. I tell them, listen, it's like a dollar store. You can put $1 million in a dollar store. You can sell spatula for $1. You ain't gonna make that $1 million back right away and overnight. And that's why promoters' biggest thing is, and, you know, I was even telling, you know, wifey for it too, we got to give away 3,000 tickets. So I sat down with 98. They told me give 3,000 if you want to sell 15,000. I do that. Most promoters feel like you're giving a $25 ticket away. It's like you're taking food out of their kid's mouth. They don't understand the game. And then they sell the, you know, vendor 500 here. They're getting money from everyone, but you have a responsibility to the vendors. You have a responsibility to, you know, everybody out there. So, you know, they see it as money, and they see it as not in it for the right reason.
Right.
So it's it's tough.
At the end of the day, they really see it as a loss when they don't really realize that that's a win. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I understand that mentality 100%. It's because there's times when when I throw shows, you know, we may throw, you know, whatever, be a comedy show or whatever the case is. You know, people come in and they see bottles on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna give away my thing right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'll put some wine on the table or whatever, right? And they tripping on me. They like, why you just giving that away? I'm like, come on, man.
You gotta spend it to make it.
Because not only that, you also creating an experience. You know what I'm saying?
It truly is. That's why that's the first thing I say. It's not an event. It's an experience when you come to my shows. I mean, you guys all been to them. I have a carnival there. You know, I always just try to stay at the top of the game when it comes to promoting. I just see somebody do something, I want to do it bigger. Right. You know, I always see my shows doing bigger, and I guess I wouldn't call it competition, but, you know, one person that promotes as well, I'll be honest, I just don't like the guy. I seen him. He promoted a carnival. He promoted all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't lay down. I didn't take it as, you know, F that guy. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it bigger than he did. Right. He never did the carnival. He never did. It never came to fruition. Mine did. Right. But, you know, it's just being bigger and better, not willing to risk it. I mean, people don't understand that, you know, my E40 show cost $80,000. I still have not got paid from the celebrity. I haven't. Right. I feel it's a waste of time to take them to court. I just moved on and go to the next thing. So, you know, you got to take them losses. You just got to take it. And it's just, you know, one thing you got to have in any, you know, your magazine, people that go work at a restaurant, you got to be able to put that work in and love what you're doing and understand that it's not a monetary move. And that's where everybody makes every decision based on money. If you do it right, the money will come. But if you do it about money, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to be successful. And you spoke on it a couple of times, man. You know, it's also about loving what you do. You know what I'm saying? And then being passionate about what you do, because you want to put on an experience. You want a great show. And I'm here to tell you, I've been to many of your shows. There's never no drama. At least I've never seen no drama. No. You know what I'm saying? There's never no drama. Everybody has a good time. Everybody interacts with one another. That was a big thing with me. Like when I went and I seen what was going on, I was like, not only do the celebrities show up and entertain, but they also have a good time. And they interact with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's big. You know what I mean? That's huge. I joke around a lot, but I'm pretty sure that any big festival, you don't see a Spice One sitting on a car, on a motorcycle, RBL Posse just walking around the events. And even X-Ray, they say the only reason they do my shows, they said, I've never been to a show where I wanted to stay and have fun and hang out and just make it an event. And that's, you know, that's AZ. We got a great crowd here. We absolutely got it. And you know, listen, I'm not originally from AZ, but now when I go different places, I love to see the look on people's faces. When people say, where you from? I say Arizona. And they be like, what? They be like, they look at us, they be like, MediaMade and this, that, why? I was like, yo, man, it ain't where you from, it's where you at, man. You know what I'm saying? You get anywhere popping, like I said, man. Know, but you just gotta know what the crowd likes, and that's the other thing. You can't be a fan of what it is. Like me personally, some artists I cannot stand their music, and they're great. Right. it's not about being a fan, because what I like, not everyone's gonna like. So it's just making sure you're not, fanning it. You're not, doing this. But it's just a thing, and that's, I take any bit of information that I have and I put it to use. Like I watch Howard Stern a lot. I mean, and Ed Sheridan's on there, and he said he had a conversation with Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp told him, I don't care what your art is. If you're passionate, if you have $1, it's either eat or put it back in your craft. The person that puts it back in the craft is going to be successful no matter what you do. And people don't have that discipline. No,
they definitely don't have that discipline, Chris, because we've been doing that. We've been around, like the Media Made LLC brand has been around for going on 15 years, right? Of course, the first 5 years, nobody even know who the fuck y'all is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Like, who y'all think y'all are? You know what I'm saying?
Well, in your defense, I've been trying to get in a magazine for 6. So
I'm gonna keep going.
You've been telling me no for 6 years. So.
But they don't know though, because like you just said, though, like all the money that we get, all the money that I've made, I put it back. I put it back in the business. And like you said, I'm not going to see that monetary value right away. You know what I mean? But long as I keep doing it, like long as you stay consistent is what I want to say.
And bringing that brand, I mean, that's really what it is, man. You got that brand is what it is. And, even when you ask me for a picture of myself, you don't see me on stage. I don't want to break one from Suge Knight, but you can catch me in the video dancing and all that. I mean, I joke, man, because I'm literally look like a landscaper in my shows. You can't catch who I am.
No, I get that 100% because like when we be out doing what we do, you know what I'm saying? Like people trip because they see me with a camera. And I'm like, that's because I love to do what I do. You know what I mean? And then I also can, just like you in your business, you can look and see something that isn't right. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to happen for you to know that wasn't going to work out well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got to catch it right off the bat.
You got to catch it right
I think
off the
I think my first E40 show funny because I was out there in the crowd breaking up fights. I had some local artists. I'm sitting there, cops are like, man, we backing you up. I was like, but you got to be out there. You can't be, that's, taking notes. And, I like to throw the promoters under the bus, but, we're going to one event and I kept telling him, man, you need some police here. You need some police here. And I'm not a big fan of the cops, but, as promoters, we have a responsibility to the public and, keeping public safe. So I kept telling that guy, you need that. Next thing you know, there's a shootout. I'm in the middle of that thing. And, I grew up like that. So I was like,
so we good.
I'm laughing about it. I'm like, we get a shootout. You laugh because you're lying, but people, lost their lives. People were scared. People's lives changed. And, I kept telling them, you gotta have police there because when you put everybody in one place, you got a responsibility to keep them all safe. You got a responsibility to not get them drunk. You got a responsibility to not let them pass out, not let little kids drink it. Like you got a responsibility as a public. So that's why you catch me in the trenches out there, making sure no dumb stuff is going on there, and make sure the police presence out there. And my cops are good. I don't like to be the one. I don't like cops like the rest of us, but my guys know just no fights, no this, that.
Let's be
they
easy.
Stay out of people's minds. They never arrested anybody. They never harassed anybody, but they know, hey, they're there and they stop, some stuff because we go out. I mean, I got my family with me and I go to events. I got security with me some of the times. Sometimes I just got my people, but my responsibility is to keep them home safe. And, and I treat everybody like their family. So
no question about that. I was involved in an event like that one time. It was a car show, and it was kind of like when I first got here. And to your point, these guys were setting it up, and the first thing I said, like I said, okay, it was in Tempe, and I said, well, okay, well, where's the police at? And they was like, oh man, we don't need to spend the money on the police. And I said, you don't need to. So now I done this before, so I know what's gonna happen.
Alcohol, thugs,
right? These old ass cars, because that's the way they looking at it. You know what I'm saying? They like these old ass cars and shit. So, I put myself in a position to where if something happened, I'm not going to lose that much. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, it's not monetary with that either. I lose sleep if somebody brings their kid to one of my events and they can't get that kid home safe, and it's just, I won't be able to sleep. I'll never be able to sleep on that stuff.
And so, long story short, the show was supposed to be from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 12 at night. We broke it up into different sections of who gets what, right? They was looking at me crazy because I said, well, I want it from 12 to 3 to 12 to 4, right? For one, like I said, I haven't done this before. So I already know, you know what I mean? First 3 hours, everybody just getting there, everybody just selling in. Ain't nobody really drinking just yet, or at least they ain't getting lit just yet. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna really pop off till about 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? Whatever goes down, it's gonna happen at about 4. So by 3:30, I got my money and I'm getting out the way. Kid you not, Chris. 4:30, the police showed up and shut it down. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah,
I need you to tell me about, man, the lowrider.
It's just
thing, baby. You thought that was sitting back there for
oh
nothing,
man,
Tell me that
it's just one thing that's been, everyone knows me, and it's how do I say, I'm a kind of that niche, being stereotyped as just a cannabis event. And when I got here, man, speaking of 2018, someone says, man, when we start legalizing weed, he goes, man, you go to these cannabis shows, it's and this is 2018. I know it's bigger now. He's like, man, if you do a cannabis show with real artists, it's gonna be big, because cannabis shows back then were little hippie bands, little garage bands, and he's like, man, if you can do a show with real artists doing a cannabis show, I'd be lit. I'm like, well, me, ding, ding, ding. Let me do that. And I think the Desert Blaze is, hence Desert Blaze was to say, let's play on words, because when we started it, there wasn't even allowed cannabis on the radio like it is now. So a lot has changed since 2018 to now. And we even went through power, and we couldn't get it through FCC. I had a title sponsor that was a dispensary, but we put it presented by. So I was always proud to say, I like to, little things that don't matter, but it mattered to me, is that I got a dispensary on the radio first. I got a dispensary on the billboard when they weren't allowing it, because even if you remember, the Mint back then just said the Mint. It didn't say what they were doing or what they offered. So just using that marketing brain of mine and just trying to work around it. But it's just making the cannabis show, and like, people love that stuff, but it's a small niche product. I mean, it really is. And then going to these other lowrider events and lowrider shows, I'm like, man, it's the culture. It's a beautiful culture. Absolutely. Man. I grew up in that culture, and seeing that it's cyclical, it's come back around, and it's just it's gotten its own brand again, and it's huge. So me being the businessman, it's like, let me tap into it, but I don't like to exploit things. I like to make sure that I tap in and pay homage to it. So when we bring the cars out, we bring the car show, I make sure everybody gets the respect that we get to break that stereotype of, being troublemakers, being gang members, and being this. I mean, these guys put 200, 300, 400,000 in a beautiful car. They're not here to cause trouble. They're not selling drugs to get that. Some guys work 3, 4 jobs to get that car beautiful. So I just like, paying respect to my, my heritage. That's really what it is. And, so I started getting the car show scene, started doing that. And, it's a beautiful culture that I grew up loving. And, Arizona South, it's the biggest in the Southwest. So I want to make sure we pay homage to it. Then, I met these guys here, the lowrider lawyers. They're based out of El Paso. They wanted to move in, and they want a brand, and they're also, want to pay homage to the culture, and they're calling themselves the lowrider lawyers. So, being that I built Ikonic to be a big brand, they wanted to use my platform, my shows, to launch their brand. So we just had a beautiful partnership just to keep working together and, bringing the best car show to the Valley. So that's why we decided to scrap cannabis. No more cannabis for this show. No more cannabis. I know people love it, but we got the Ostrich Festival, and I went there to go see a band who we're trying to bring for our second day. I drove all the way to see there, and on posted, they're like, "What is an Ostrich Festival?" It's one of the biggest festivals on this valley. Absolutely. It is. I don't go east of the 101 either.
Right. Because the first time I went to the Ostrich Festival, I was amazed that some ostrich shit out there. Like I was like,
the Ostrich Festival going on for years. And they do a great job, but people on the west side don't go there. So I'm saying, let's do a tamale festival. That's where it really started, and then we had so much things go wrong with this show. But it's like fate hit, because DJ Quick was on the show, but he had some issues with his son. I don't like touch base on that, but it's in the media. We had to cancel. Then the show that you guys were talking about earlier was right then in November. So I said, November's a bad date. So let's just scratch November. We picked another date in January. Man, that was just a bad date. It was the first probably mistake I made was picking that. And I was stressing out. I couldn't sleep for a week. And I'm like, we're going to have to push it. And then, I got a call from my guys here at the Lowrider Lawyers, said, hey, we want to be part of it. Let's do this. So, we regrouped. I do everything now. Me and wife, I just met at the same time. It's like I talked to her for everything, and I'm like, "What do I do? What do I do?" She's like, "Move it." I'm like, "Yeah." So I didn't want to move it. I just didn't want to move it, but it would have been, in my opinion, a terrible show. And I'm thinking it's already going to be a terrible show. Let's just do a free show. Let's just do a free show. But nobody respects free. I mean. And I keep my shows cheap anyway. I just didn't want to do it. And then I meet these guys, and the show, it just evolved into us doing a all ages show. I'm going to in this economy, it's hard to take your family out. So we're going to let We're going to let kids 10 and under free. So we're going to make sure the tickets stay $25 general admission. So we're going to make it a great event. So, you know, having good sponsors like that allow me to do that. But, you know, if you ever come to my shows, I've never really wanted to charge a lot of money. We make sure parking's cheap. I can't control the parking, but you know, I just remember what it's like growing up when I couldn't afford to do things. So, you know, and we're in the worst economy it's been in a while. So I want to make sure our families have fun, come out, and just make it a great time.
Great experience, a great time. They know when they came to your show, they have fun.
Oh yeah, they're gonna know. And it's, to be honest, I'm ready to compete with the Ostrich Festival. I'm trying to make something in Glendale.
Listen, I'm with you. So I need you to talk a little bit about that, man, because you know, as being a promoter, you know, I've dabbled and dabbled in it throughout the years. So I also know that sometimes making the decision on the location can be critical to the show succeeding. How do you make that decision? Like that to me is a critical decision, because
I mean, I've had
you just said the West Side don't want to go to the East don't want to go to the West. You know, Gilbert don't ever want to go nowhere but Gilbert. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the West Side's got enough people out there, man. There's enough of us out there. But I mean, Phoenix wants to go out there. I mean, Gilbert and Mesa ain't coming out. I mean, I dreaded driving out here. I was like, man, I hate Mesa. No offense, I was like, man, it must take something to get me to Mesa. But you know, there's just it's where I've always had my shows. We usually bring about 10,000 out. So, you know, letting the kids free and keeping it an event, it's gonna be great. The location's across from the Cardinal Stadium, so people are used to driving that out anyway. Keep a good location. But like I said, the lineup. I mean, look at that lineup. We got DJ Quick, first time in Arizona with a full band. It's not going to be, and I brought out DJ Quick a few times, so I'm more excited that we're going to see him with a band. And that's, you know, one thing I've been trying to get is him on the band. We got High C and Tony A. They're on their Scandalous tour. We're bringing them back out.
Okay.
We got Paul Wall. He headlined last year's car show. Guy's phenomenal. He's blowing back up. He's just performed with OT the Genesis. He's OT the Mexican OT. My bad. Okay. Sorry, I'm an old school guy. So I only know the old cats.
So we old school guys, right?
Yeah, I don't know anybody new,
so
but
some shit don't just compute to us. You know what I'm saying? It
just happens. You know, Baby Bash. He's a staple out here. He's just everybody's excited to see him. So you know, just when I say I'm gonna keep it cheap, that's for the fans. My lineup that's $100,000 lineup. We got DJ Quick, we got Paul Wall, we got Dub C. We just added somebody huge today. Like, it's getting bigger. We're still in negotiation with 2 more. So this ain't, when I say cheap, it ain't cheap for the experience.
Right.
I mean, people are already starting to drive from. I got 2 orders for some Tucson. So we're coming from Tucson. I got Tuba Valley calling. I mean, these shows are worth the drive, and it's going to be epic, and it's still going to be affordable too.
Because I think that the last one was, I don't know, Sonny, what was the one we went to? I don't remember the show that we.
That was my Desert Blaze. We had Be Real and everybody.
Yeah. So listen, when we pulled up, because we always get there early. You know, we make sure we capture all the footage. We capture everything that's going on, man. And that lineup was like unbelievable, you know, because I was like standing in the back and everybody was walking up to me. They was like, "Yo, this is da 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 da," which I already knew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Blazing trees.
Yeah, so one of the
Desert Blaze.
One of the great experiences that I had, I don't know, there was a trailer in the back.
Oh, our barber trailer. We used to line up the artists. And
I walked in so I'm claustrophobic, and anybody knows me know, like I can't take it with a bunch of folks around, you know. And I decided to go into the barber trailer, and it was cool as fuck. Like, when I say cool as hell, it was cool as hell because all the artists was back there.
Oh man,
I think MCA was in there, Calico was in there,
Corrupt running around.
Corrupt was running. I mean, it was Corrupt. I walk in, Corrupt was like, "Hey, Sam," I'm like, "Fuck, I just seen you in Jersey." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. Yeah. So, but it was the experience.
It's surreal. It's surreal.
It's the real experience.
Yeah, it's very surreal to see just these artists because, man, it's hard because, I mean, I'm a fan. I grew up. I mean, how many times you hear these artists over and over again? I mean, I joke when I go to these bars and, Corrupt's line comes on and Ain't No Fun and the whole bar, the DJ part. I'm like, you see that live in my place. So, I mean, it's just something that, we pay homage. And if you ever look at my Instagram, I'm walking around Dave and Buster. I was Corrupt, where you want to go eat? Dave and Buster's. I'm all like, man, I invite him. So I'm like, God, this is about to hit my pocket. Like, you wanted a game card and some ribs?
I get that 100%. And you said something really, really important, Chris, that me and you kind of both had thought about or suffered in one time right? Because I too had to get out my way of being a fan and not being a fan.
Oh man, it's hard. It's hard, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard.
Because like of course, I run a publication and I'm from the East Coast, so I'm biased already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm biased, but I came to the West early. You know what I mean? I came to the West I came to the West when it was that fucking East Coast West Coast shit.
Oh man, that was
and it was crazy because I'm from the East and I like that. I love that. I don't want to say I love the music or whatever, but then I'm listening to this West Coast.
Oh man, that's the best genre of music of all time. There's never been a better genre of music.
And it's hitting. It ain't just no, it's not just, it's banging. And then now I'm getting into scraps. I'm getting in disagreements with cats from the East because I'm like, yeah, you might want to listen a little bit of MC8 or Too Short, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, but I had to get out of my way, and I brought that up to say that I had to get out of my way of being a fan and not being a fan, because you got to do what's best for the business.
Man, I love East Coast music. From the West, I love East Coast music more than West Coast. I mean, I can lie. I joke, man. My iconic emblem, that's Ghostface from Wu on there.
Right.
You see me on stage with Wu-Tang. I was like, you got tapped me on the shoulder. I was fainting. I mean, I was like, I'm just backstage, and me and Sugar Shane were sitting there, and I'm like, we're sitting there. He taps me on the shoulder. I was like, oh dang. I mean, I love Wu-Tang that much, but it's just. Yeah, I hear you can't do a East Coast show out here. I mean, no, I wish you could.
You can't. You can't. And
that thing will flop.
It will. And you know what? And I get hit up all the time because I'm here in the West. You know what I mean? And I'm from the East. Whatever. People know it. I know a lot of artists with a back East, and they be like, "You're saying when you gonna bring us?" And I'm like, never.
Yeah, it's just it'll flop.
Because it's just different. You know what I mean? Like they know. Perfect example. And I felt really bad about this too. And I don't know why I feel bad, because it was fucking crazy. Rakim was here.
Oh God, yeah, the Live Nation one, that was.
Yeah, the guard was here. And so we went down and we covered it and we did our thing, whatever. And then they was like, yo, we doing the show over here, show up, God,
that was such a. See, I mean,
and it was like maybe 150, 200 people there. Maybe.
The problem a lot of times, I mean, Live Nation, they just don't promote. They don't promote. That's the other thing. You'd have the biggest lineup in the planet, but nobody knows about it. So we hit the grassroots. We hit up. I mean, we're passing out flyers hand to hand.
So I need you to talk about that, because that's the part that I was getting ready to segment into, man. I need you to talk about the marketing. I need you to. You don't got to talk about your schemes, whatever, because we all do some things.
I mean, I can blueprint it out, but people just don't want to hear about it. I mean,
I need you to talk about the
problem with Arizona, and when I first got into it, I mean, I was meeting with everybody, and it seems like I joked with the two promoters, and they're still doing their thing. They sat down with me, and they're like, give me $4,000, you get my database, you get this, you get that. I'm like, damn. They're like, we have a great relationship. I'm like, I'm still new. I'm a financial advisor, so I mean, I don't know. They caught me in my salmon shirt and a kerchief on or some shit. I'm looking like, I'm looking at like I don't know who they think I'm a sucker. I'm like, sheesh, man. I'm like, I still got to get in the goddamn violin case. You know what I'm saying?
Believe it, baby. Better believe it.
They're trying to shake me down for money and stuff. I'm like, hey, it don't work that way. But the philosophy was, hey, let's have, we have our guys sell tickets for us. We have that. It's that pay to play thing. And I used to let people go on for free, but man, it was so much of a headache. Any more headache. I'm like, I just don't want to deal with that anymore, because nobody values free.
Nobody values free.
But nobody values the pay to play too. So I mean, you go to artists out there, you bring out someone like a Brother Lynch when he came out, he'd be at a pizza parlor. And I mean, that guy's a legend. I'm like, man, it broke my heart to see these guys who you idolize were bigger than Earth still. And you're like, they're playing at a pizza parlor. And, this promoter already profited, so he's okay with it. And by the time Brother Lynch comes out, everybody's gone, because, get 20 people here to see this guy, They pay the $500, they bring in their 20 people, they watch them perform, they get out of there. Like, they don't want to do that. I mean, I just can't believe that's the philosophy.
Yeah.
So, when, these guys are telling me give them $4,000, I'm like, I'll pay $10,000 and throw more marketing on the radio. I just don't believe in exploiting people. And that's just it. I just don't believe in the exploiting people to do your job, and that that's what it is. So
and it hurts relationships too. You know what I mean? Especially when you do that free shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had experiences where so we did the Super Bowl thing, and I brought in Outlaws and I try to be cool. you know, I bring in a couple of local artists, whatever, to get on the same ticket with Trade the Truth. And, you know, I'm trying to ease in a little bit of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then people was mad at me because I had known them for so many years, and then I wouldn't let them perform Super Bowl weekend.
That was a rough weekend. We had the Red Man show out there. It wasn't enough, man. It was
for free. They was like, they don't want now. You don't want to talk to me. You don't want to be my friend anymore.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's just it's hard being. I mean, because you can't make everybody happy. You put them on, they don't like the time. You put them on, they don't.
Right.
So it's just
always something.
It just becomes more headache for me. So we got some locals here. I still want to pay a little homage to Arizona, so I threw some on there.
Right.
For this show, but you know, again, we're going on second stage. Nobody's touching that main stage. They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Man, by the time it's all said and done, we're gonna have 20 artists on there, and these are platinum. I'm not,
right?
You know, and just
you gotta be memorable."
And the thing is with marketing, I sorry to interrupt you, but I try to tell people like, you know, I like Slim 400. I brought him out here before, and the reason why I like him, he's listening to I Need a Freak beat. He's got the Back to the Hotel beat, you know, and I'm like, oh, man, because an old cat like me can listen to stuff like that.
Right.
So I tell him, why don't you just throw some old beats on and replay, because that's the demographic you're from. You don't tell me how to do my art. I'm like, well, I'd be sarcastic. I'm like, well, you got 30 followers and nobody knows who you are. So, I mean, shit, I mean, you got to go back to the mixtape days. I mean, 50 Cent was, you know, diamond artist, and he's still putting out 10 or 15 mixtapes talking about Ja Rule. But,
right,
you know, that's because you got to have the beats so people can catch on. And I get it, you can't stream it, but when you're at a concert, if you're feeling somebody, of course you can be out there. Who's this cat? Who's this guy? Because I listen to all Slim 400 stuff, you know, rest in peace. But, you know, it's just, you know, you got to catch something on there. But, man, these guys don't want to hear nothing. I'm like,
right. And what they don't realize, too, a lot of times is people don't, you know, especially people who listen to music, right? A lot of times they want to hear that music that made them feel good at that particular time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's the nostalgia. You know exactly where you're at.
That music that they created moments with at that time when that music was out at that time. You know what I'm saying? Now you coming with some new shit that nobody ever heard before. You know what I mean? Nobody's like you said, they looking at you like, what is that?
See, I take bets of life, and the reason why I say is like, you know, when I did my daughter's Sweet 16, and when I go to other ones, I'm like, people get bored. They don't want to hear the mom and dad talk. They're here to party, regardless. Right. We're here to celebrate. You know, my daughter, I said, no speeches. You know, why? I said, because people are here to party. Because as soon as that starts happening, people dip out. Right. People start leaving. Because once you break the energy, it's done. Right. And I'll give you an example. We went to Westworld to go see ZZ Top. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of them, but I love classic rock. And I go see ZZ Top. All they play was the new stuff. And I'm like, F this, I left. Right. Because you go to hear Legs, you go to hear, you know, you go to hear these songs. You don't go to hear that. And then I think one of my guys, he brought out Busy Bone to the Bully event too, and I was excited. I'm like, you know what? Because you see Bone Thugs, he don't travel with them. Start playing his new stuff. The whole crowd. I mean, these poor kids were wearing Bone Thug shirts. They have flags on. They were so excited. He's playing songs that I never heard of before. And people left because you're at a club, you want to hear music you know, and you know And how do you break that is you put beats onto their shit. That's how the mixtapes That's how the mixtapes got successful. Right. And
you go with the nostalgia.
And people just don't realize it, but that's what people want to hear. They want to hear what they hear on the radio. So granted, you're remixing it, they may or may not like it, but that's what's gonna catch people's attention. But people just don't understand that. They think their art's everything, but you gotta do what breaks through to those fans. And that's what I don't say Arizona lacks, but Arizona just doesn't. They're great artists. There's a lot of talent out here. They're just not combined. They want to fight with each other, but they're all into playing that pay-to-play stuff. They don't go out there. And the only one that's got movements, Merkham's, and I mean, he's New York, but he raps AZ to the fullest. Right. But you don't catch him on a pay-to-play. You catch him at big events. He's doing this. He's pushing his thing, and he's getting through to those crowds that rock the bells. He's getting through to those crowds, and that's what.
Big shout out to Merk. I was just with him. We was just being brazy. And Merk was just together the other day at TJ's thing. You know what I love Merk.
Merk was a guy got great energy too, but you catch that guy everywhere, man. He's everywhere, and and that's the key is just getting out there and just breaking that stigma. But I mean, from a marketing standpoint, you gotta do what's different. But I also go with what works. Flyers work.
Absolutely.
I go face to face. I go, you know,
yeah. So, with you doing your thing and promoting in Arizona, right? I probably already know the answer to my own question, but do you also do shows out of Arizona?
No, I mean people are begging me to go out of town, but I'm like, man, I don't feel like I've mastered Arizona, and you got to completely take it over,
right?
So you can move on and do that. So on paper, my shows look great, but I mean, can I get that same love in New Mexico? Yes. Can I get that same love in El Paso? Can I get that same love in San Bernardino? And it's just, you know, I don't know. And I don't want to say I'm nervous. I don't know. I grew up in Arizona. Like when we were cruising in 16, I knew what everybody was listening to.
And you know your landscape. You know what I'm saying? But I just overheard you was talking about from New Mexico, the cats in New Mexico that called down here. I was just wondering, the car shows and all of that you was talking about, I was thinking you may have branched there first. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Man, I will say I'm nervous, man. I'm just nervous because people ask me why. I'm like, I don't know. I can't promote some I've never touched.
I get it.
Vacation.
Right. No, but I think you can make it happen, man. I personally think you've known you as long as I've known you, to see the way you move, the things that you do. I think when they see Cano in the building, baby,
I'll pop a 10 out there and be handing out photos. I mean, I'll make sure I succeed. You know,
right? They're gonna raise their head up in respect. You know what I'm saying? That because you bring a good show. I don't care what you do. So it don't matter where you go. It don't matter what you do. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna bring a good show because you're not gonna let it happen if it's not gonna be a good show.
That's a great point, and I still understand why I can't get on the magazine though. All that fluff we just did. Why can't I get the magazine? Maybe when I get on the magazine, then
that'll translate you.
Maybe I'll say, you know what? Here, El Paso, here it comes.
No doubt, Chris don't stop playing. He don't stop. Like
I'm relentless.
I don't mind that at all. So other businesses, man. Like, we're just not going to talk about your promotion and low riders and all that. I know you're involved in other different things. Is there any other businesses that you
right now about? We're stepping back. We're in between starting a cannabis line, cannabis brand, and vodka. So we're trying to go between both those and decide which one's next. My beautiful wife, where to be, she's a nail artist. So we got to get some salons going. So it's just regrouping. It really is regrouping. After COVID, man, I had 3 or 4 artist shows I had to cancel and move around. It was rough, man. It was COVID was tough, and
COVID was tough.
You didn't realize, man. I had to skip a few mortgage payments to make that show go on. And,
I do though.
You gotta risk it.
Because after COVID, it kind of knocked us down a little.
Well, there's this thing in the contract, force majeure here. It's like earthquake. You ain't got that here. Hurricane. When's the last time we got heat and a little bit of rain? We can perform in the rain. So COVID's the only thing that broke that. So I lost a lot of deposits on that time. So it was,
I absolutely understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it was ugly. So took a step back, and I got to the point where I was thinking, hey, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. I was just not because of that. I'm like, you know what? I've done it. There's just no thrill. I keep giving shots out to the wife. She's actually gave me my groove back like Stella, and I just said, you know what? Let's go. And she keeps pushing me to do better, and it's like, I'm excited to do this again too. So
she put that new battery in your pack, man, and that one, and hopefully it's
that's the thing. It's just because I was doing the same things over and over again. Right. I was scared to make a move on all ages show. She's like, she tells me believe in, it's just having that person that pushed you, and it really does, because you get comfortable. Like I said, I've been there, done that. I've done cannabis shows. You've been in my shows. Have you ever seen a cannabis show bigger than mine? Yeah. And I look across the country, and I have not seen a cannabis show bigger than mine with the biggest artists.
I have not.
And it's okay. I've done that. So what's next? And I got an award from the New Times Best Cannabis Show. I'm like, man, that's great. You're
making me think about that magazine thing a lot better now, because before, when I walked into the cannabis show, I didn't even know what was going on. I walked in the cannabis show. When I walked in the room, a lot of people knew me because of Chris and the shows and the different things.
They're just big. They're big.
And they was like, Sam, the interviews, and I was like, no, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy. I guess go hang out, grow up in the barber trailer.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm off work right now. I'm not doing none of that. Yeah. So what's next, man? We got the concert.
We got that. Actually, we're branching out. We got some. We got some stuff going on here. We're trying to add a second day here. We're gonna probably go Spanish and banda, something I've never done before too. So we're in the process of locking that up. So April 11th is going to turn into 12th. We're gonna do Spanish. So we're gonna get, like I said, ostrich festivals is the goal. And like I said, I'm not saying I'll beat those. Those guys are great. That guy's a machine over there, man. He's been doing it for, I believe it's SMS Entertainment. I believe his name is. The guy's a machine. He's been doing it since 2000. So you can't. I just want to, like I said, be at a level where I can say, you know what, he's in sights and do that. So we're adding the second day. We're actually going to make it a yearly event, but what I really want to do is a tamale festival. Again, I like to pay homage to my people and just want to do that. So we're going to aim for November. So once we get this almost solidified, we're aiming for November. We got some sports event stuff that we got going on. We got just some big things that we're going out. So we're going to branch out of our comfort zone of just doing West Coast. I'm getting stereotyped as just a West Coast, plug and this, and I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Right now, you see me shake my head.
I love it. Don't get me wrong, but you know what? It's time to
put that brand on me. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you'll call me first.
Yeah, it's time to step it up and move on, get into some sports stuff and just the car show thing is just getting bigger too. So I want to have the biggest car show in Arizona. So we got the Super Show to compete with, and I'm not saying be bigger than them or they're not that. I just want to be one. It's said with those names, and that's really what my focus is. Like I said, any promoter out here, I laugh at. I mean, yeah, they're like, "Why don't you get in beef with people?" I'm like, "Listen, that's like These guys going against Mike Tyson in their prime. They can't keep up with Ikonic. Right. They can't. Right. My stage costs more than they make in a year.
Right.
That stage costs more than they'll ever be. Just the stage, not alone the artist. I got $100,000 of talent on there too. So you can't pull up in your 300 with a Phantom grill and be like, hey, it's almost a Phantom. Like Cat Williams said, no, it's not. It's not. It's not. Your event is not me. One artist is not this. So that's
not a Phantom.
It's not a Phantom.
It's a price of 300.
Yeah, it's a knockoff.
There's a difference.
Nobody has done what I've done on an independent level, so I've done that. So I hate to say that I got bored, but I don't want to say I got bored, but I'm like, it's just there's no spark back. So when Ikonic takes his big step in 26, thank wifey for that because she gave my groove back. I was literally telling her I'm probably done with this. She's like, good. It's like,
go sit down. I got it.
No, she's like good because I make money regardless what I do. Right. So it's just it's just something big. But I'm at the cusp where it's gonna get 80 times bigger than I could ever even imagine. So that's why
and when I hear you say bigger than the Ostrich Fest, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's a big ass them. I don't want to insult those guys.
Right. You want to insult them, but you in your own right, Chris, you probably just as big. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the reason why I say that, the Ostrich Fest attracts a certain demographic of people, right? You now or have always
have that crossover.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because
it's a multicultural.
It's a multicultural event. You got your own demographic of folks that come out. Now it may not be as big as the Ostrich name, and you know what I mean. And
it will be
right.
It will be.
But eventually,
it will be.
Oh, it absolutely going. Listen, man.
After this, we're really gonna make the event of all events this April.
Yes,
I can promise you that. And just with the lineup alone, DJ Quick, Paul Wall, Dub C. I mean, you're like, wow, that's a. When you're talking about the last artist, I remember the 50 years of hip hop was going on, and my show got mentioned on Rock the Bells. They were talking about this show in Arizona. I'm like,
yeah,
that's how big this show because they're talking about. What's paying homage to this? And somebody sent me a clip. I'm like, holy, I don't even pay for this stuff. And that stuff that means more than any dollar that I can make off these events. When I get the best of show this or just homage of that, because the accolades mean everything. That's why if you're not in it for the accolades, you're in it for the money, then you ain't gonna make money. You might make okay, but you ain't gonna make the money you want.
And I think I heard it, whether you know this or not. I think I heard something. I think I was listening to Sirius XM Sway. I was on the Sway channel, and I think I heard something.
I think we heard it was Sway. They were talking about. Yeah. They were just like tell us some shows that make the 50 greatest. They're throwing shots out there, but my show. I was like,
I heard that day. I was listening that day.
That to me. I'm like, shit. Because I'm paying love to something I love. Right. I love hip hop. Don't get me wrong. Right. I ain't ever gonna shoot a bar. I'm never gonna give you a bar. I'm not gonna rap. I can't even write poetry. I'm not gonna say that, but I love hip hop. I love everything about it. Yeah. My childhood, he said, man, I grew up, just putting that first CD, and I was joking with her, and I was like, man, my first CD was E40 and Captain Save-A-Ho. That was the only, 2 good songs on that CD. So when you're cruising around doing some nonsense or trying to do what you do, that's all you're listening to over and over again. So when I heard it live, I was like, holy crap, that's me that did this. Yeah. That's me that brought it. Then when I look over, Terrell Suggs is in the front row jamming out. I got little flip there. I turn over, Sebo's next to me. I'm like, holy crap. Like, look at Sebo standing next to me. I'm like, I heard liquor store over and over again. But that's where it just becomes, the reality. Like, the reality of the work, right? You, as in me, brought this kind of happiness to people, even if it's for one day. So that's why I want to make sure that it's an event, it's affordable, and people can't miss out. I give tickets away. People don't understand why that, because it just, I have a responsibility. I get vendors, I charge them $200-300. They're like, why is it so cheap? Because they got to make money. You're feeding my people. I don't need your money. I make money here. I make money, and it's just a good formula. I just take care of people, and people take care of me. It's a great formula, Chris. And one of the things that they can never take away from you is you're a man of the people. And that's why you do what you do. That's why you are as successful as you are, because you don't forget that upbringing that we came up with. See, this is a whole different dichotomy that goes on here. You know what I mean? It's just like if you from this side, then you understand, you never forget that side. You know what I'm saying? We're doing an era of gangbanging music, which it was. And I was gangbanging, don't get me wrong, but I grew up. Everybody evolved. You get people that are doctors, lawyers. And I tell people, they say it's gangster music. I say, you put on any Snoop Dogg song from his first album, and every person from 50 to 10 is going to know every word for word. Right. And it's just the best era of music. It truly is the best era of music. Yeah. There's not name a better era of the music. I mean, there just never is. That sold that much, that still has that impact, that any demographic, any age group, any money bracket, everybody listens to Snoop Dogg. Everybody listens to Crow. Everybody listens to DJ Quick. Like, I mean, it's just the greatest music. I mean, that's why I do it, but it is the biggest genre. It is the biggest genre. Because Quick was one of the first West Coast artists that I gravitated to. Like, I don't know why. I got a couple of them, you know what I mean? But DJ Quick was one of the first cats that I gravitated to, because I had kind of left the East and went to Tucson, and I was in Tucson, and I listened to this guy, and I was like, this guy is good, and and Razzcast, you know what I'm saying? These guys wind up becoming guys that I can converse with, you know what I mean? When I see him, like, man, Quick is probably one of the best guys. I did a meet and greet with my first show with them. I'm like, it was 3 a.m. I'm like, this dude is asking this guy, well, how many kids she got, how many this she got, his daughter there. He's like, he gave some kid $300 for Jordans because he had a DJ Quick show. The kid was 16. I mean, this guy's he's a good guy, but he really cares. Like, he's asking, what's your name? What's that? I'm like, dude, it's 3 a.m. You don't get your ass out of here. I slept in 2 weeks, man. I know that's right. Hey, y'all, for all the listeners out there, man, today, baby, I had the opportunity, man, to sit down with one of the great ones, baby. You know what I'm saying? Promoter Chris Cano, man, was in the building. Hey, when Sonny said we got Chris Cano lined up, I was like, we pushed, you don't even know. We pushed a bunch of people off the schedule. Huh, son? And I said, pin him in, not pencil. I need you to imagine marking him in, man, because I need Chris at the building, man. I know I'm gonna hear this shit about the magazine all day. Every time I see you, when am I getting on that magazine? That first thing comes out. I still want to know. Well, we're gonna get there. I still want to know. I'm gonna have to sit aside. I want to know when I can bump Jadakiss off the cover for me. That's what I need to know. I'm gonna have to sit down with my team and say, listen, man, I can't take this pressure no more. We need to figure out some shit with Chris, man. I'm just saying. Yeah, I was like, maybe MediaMade can do a promoter. See, here we go with this bullshit. Right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, secondary stuff, man. Maybe I'll put you on the second stage behind. Oh, don't worry, man. No. We're talking up front. VIP's always VIP. Right, we're talking up front in person. I know secondary. No secondary. Maybe Iconic will promote at a bar. No, that don't happen either, man. We go bigger. We go no. I know that's right. Hey, Chris, man, I want to thank you for coming out, man. Oh, man, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, man. It's always a blast when I see you guys at events. And, but before we go, I need you to shout out and plug everything and everybody that's helped you get to the place that where you are today. I know it's a lot of people. Oh man, it's actually a short list, man. All right, well let me hear it, man. Short list. First off, one, it's gonna be bunch in one. Every fan that's come to an Iconic experience, show love, man. I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I did without you guys. I mean, obviously, seeing everybody light up, dance, tell me what a great time they had. I'm so neurotic that I read every post. They say there wasn't enough trash cans. I'm like, I'd be thinking like, damn, I need trash cans. So I'm that person where you don't see me dance on stage. I'm sitting there thinking I can't sleep at night because I missed something. And to go about the crossover thing, when the lineups get too loud, and I hate to be rude, but I was like, these white folks be like too many damn beaners here, you know. It's just what it is. I mean, we got to make sure. You got to make sure there's everybody out there ready to have fun and love. So, but it's the fans, man. It's the fans that's the reason why I do it. You know, my daughter, she was out there with me from the beginning. Everyone cracked up with. You know, she lived me full time. I never left her alone. So since she was 12, I've been having her at clubs, radio stations. She's at concerts, so you know, I can show her, and you know, just everybody's been part of it. My sponsors here, they've been great. They got me into a different level. You know, I got a bunch of street team. I got, you know, my lowrider crew. They're stuck with me. But you know, and then I'd like to thank, you know, the wife here. Like I said, she really did get groove back. It was lost there for a second there. I was in this, you know what? It's mess. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. That's how it got. And you know what? I've had Paul and all these guys contracted since last January or last June. Nobody's heard about it because I just didn't want to do it no more. I ain't gonna lie. I just didn't want to do it no more. I was like, it's just, yeah, it is. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
I bet her in August, and boom, blew back up. We're back to where we need to be. So you know, I'm really gonna thank her and just you know, just everyone else. Like I said, everyone else that pays homage to Ikonic, and knowing that, you know, we know it's gonna be a big event, and we look forward to it. And just everybody that's just put his time out there for us, you know, and you know, don't want to sound like an award show. It was like, thank God, you know, he's always, you know, God's plan puts us here, and definitely put everybody in a good place too. So
cool. Absolutely. Social media. Places they can contact you if they need to contact you, or anything you want to say about the social media thing where they can tap in with you, man.
Oh, just, you know, Ikonic AZ. It's real simple. It's Ikonic with a K. Mm-hmm. One thing I get a kick out of with Corrupt, he's Iconic Corrupt because he spells it with a K, and he goes, this is Ikonic AZ. So, you know, if you're looking at every promo, I always get a kick out of that. So it's Ikonic with a K, AZ. And like I said, just with any ideas we got, just, you know, keep throwing them out there. Okay. We're going to evolve. Like I said, I always was happy saying I was the biggest independent promoter. Now it's time to go corporate and just be the best promoter out there, and just go on tour, take this show on the road. So it's really at that time now.
That's what it is. You want to promote them?
My lawyers right here. So that's another thing. They're going to be the biggest accident attorneys here in Arizona too. So I'm blessed enough to have them want to work with me. That's where I know that absolutely I've taken this place to, you know, they're going to be competing with Rafi. They're going to be complete with Lerner and Rowe out here. Yeah. And who else are they going to use? Who better can they use? I mean, I'm going to blow this brand up, but I still can't get a magazine cover. But but these guys here, you know, they took the time to trust me to, you know, say, you know what, we're going to take Arizona by storm. And who better else? And, you know, I thought exactly who better else.
Absolutely. Make sure you tap in with lowrider lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you type in the Ikonic Radio. Iconic. What is it? What is it?
It's Ikonic AZ. You're getting the competitor out there. Go on.
I know. Iconic AZ, man.
About to walk out of here upset.
I know.
I'm kidding.
Iconic AZ, man. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Man, it was a pleasure, man, to sit down, man. Chris Cano, man. Listen, been waiting to do this for a while, man.
I know, man.
And let me just say this, man, real quick, man. May you be blessed in all the things that you do every day, and may you prosper in each and everything that you do, each and every day that you do, my brother. You heard?
Yeah. Tap in these guys right here. It's very rare that I come out. Not that anything special about me. I just like to be as low key as possible. I don't even put my name on a flyer or these guys. I only come out for, you know, the real ones out here, the special ones.
Absolutely, man. Hey, once again, man, you heard it first right here on MediaMadeMagazine.com, MediaMadeMusic.com, MediaMadeTV.com, MediaMadeEverything.com.
And Chris won't be on no magazine cover. .org. I don't even get a .com.
And we're going to, listen, man, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have a conversation with my team, and we're going to figure this.
I haven't got a .org. They want to spend that extra $5.
We gonna do something special, man. We're going to make sure we make it happen. Chris Cano, because like he ain't lying. When y'all hear that he been asking me this shit for like 6 years, this shit. No, he really mean 8 years. He just broke it down.
He was getting security in the door. I'm like, yo, am I getting this magazine cover?
I'm like, yo, I'm getting patted down right now. Can you hold on for anything? No. We're not getting the magazine. Yo, once again, man, make sure y'all tap in, man. Ikonic AZ, you know what I'm saying? Media Made Magazine, man. It was a pleasure, man, to have my man in the building, yo. Once again, peace and blessings to all. Peace. Yeah.